Yes, Selena here, back home safely. And yeah, now I wanted to share with you a quick video vlog of some of the different things that I experienced as far as the business aspect of the different companies that I was able to go into and learn more about. Also get like kind of like a back end look at how their operation flows and kind of like my perspective on those companies as well. Also got into a little bit about the fast food industry, which is my industry for the semester. What was my observation during that time in China? And yeah, and what's the difference between here and in the US? I thought that was very interesting as well. So hopping right in it, and I hope you enjoy it.
The first stop on our business explorations led us to the Shanghai Starbucks Roastery, which provided a specialized environment for its guests. Immediately as I entered this establishment, my sense of smell was ignited. Then my curiosity increased when I saw the roasting area. This location provided an opportunity for guests to use augmented reality technology through a roastery app. However, watching the process firsthand is an even more exciting experience. The employees were dressed in uniforms that complemented the roastery experience and the environment. And even the furniture was strategically placed, to form a really welcoming environment in areas that others can read and also explore other countries and parts of the world in their nice, diverse library. The inclusion of the augmented reality shows that Starbucks is innovative. So through this specialization approach, Starbucks in Shanghai is actually helping to market more specifically to their customers by building more credibility and giving their customers an experience that will allow them to stay longer, buy more coffee and tea, and also build a solid representation of Starbucks in Shanghai for a long-term placement and position in China. The next stop on our business adventures led us to the favored nanotechnology company. The favored company really used free marketing and a free marketing approach by providing all of us a mobile power station with our names engraved on it. And by, I think by having that personalization, it helped to also give us more motivation to learn more about the company and its technology and to also spread the word more about the company.
LED board, and it's after the coding. And now I will go ahead and plug it in. So you see it's working. Then I will drop it in the water.
Oh.
Yeah. So like we have our technology to do the coding outside of the board to make it be waterproof. And out of the coding, we have our partners. They are from the Chinese Academy of Science, and they work with us to solve some technology issue to make the coding process. We usually do coding for smartphones, laptops, tablets, and earphones, but we are still finding our new customers.
And they have a really eagle eye focus on making Samsung and Apple a part of their long-term business portfolio. We saw a photographer who we realized again would be there to capture us visiting the facility, and also this adds to more free marketing content for brochures and press kits for favored in the future. And it was a great honor to present a gift to Frank's father, the owner of Favored, on behalf of the MBA cohort and faculty of Mount St. Mary's University. So then we went to Sunflare. They're a solar panel manufacturing company. And although the cameras or video recording devices were not allowed actually in the manufacturing area of Sunflare, they really gave us a nice opportunity to walk through the solar panel manufacturing plant after an introduction about what the technology that they do make, what does it do, and how does it benefit others.
So this is our product. It's flexible thin-film solar module. It's very lightweight compared with the solar module we use right now. It's like this thick, but our product is like 2 millimeter thick. It's very thin, and it's flexible, and it's lightweight. So this is our product. This is our product, and we are the only one in the world can produce this kind of product. With our product on the roof of the trailer, so it can produce the electricity that the trailer can use every day. So you can slide, you can take a hot water bath in the trailer.
So during the tour of the manufacturing plant, watching the entire process of developing the solar panels, I asked the representative, do they make these solar panels and store them in a warehouse? And he says no, they make all of their solar panels to order for their clients. And so then they cut them down for smaller jobs and also seal multiples together to cover larger platforms, larger areas. And so they are the only company at this time from the introduction from the representative who is making this flexible solar panel, and also the one that's generating this much solar energy into their panels, which gives them a competitive advantage right now to be a small company and really beginning to get their foot in the door. But from both of these, from what I saw from the companies, I would say what they both could work on now is better marketing strategies, since they have their solid base into their technology, that they may want to focus now on more of a marketing campaign or marketing strategic plan to get their technology more out there. And if they're looking to go into the US, the most strategic way to do that, keeping in mind that they, are in China, their rules and regulations, as well as relationships with the U.S. Then we went to the Guangzhou Tourism Center.
We have our center manages 50 municipal service centers, and different districts in Guangzhou also similar sports and manage another 11 service centers. All these 26 service centers in Guangzhou distribute over airports, subway stations, bus terminals, and CBD, and also the popular scenic spots.
The Tourism Center does a great job of providing some amazing resources for the community, as well as across the world as well. Although I couldn't get any footage in the United States consulate briefing with the gentleman, I can say that I was very interested in hearing about the use of the tariffs. One of the gentlemen who hosted was talking about the tariffs is, truly a way to bring a form of enforcement. So that's what they say, that the United States is using tariffs as the way of enforcing against Chinese companies, who attempt to force U.S. companies or restrict them to only using their technology or doing business the way they want to, or you won't get in at all. And they actually talk to people on the ground to see what is really going on in the environment, and then they report that back to Washington. I found also very intriguing and wanted to know more about their actual positions, their actual jobs, because it reminded me of being in the military, having an assignment, committing to that assignment, getting the training, and then committing to a tour of duty. For this tour, they would stay in Guangzhou for about 3 years, and then they would move on to another assignment. So I thought that was a very interesting occupation, working for the State Department, something I would like to just research more of, or maybe there's other opportunity that's similar. So that was something I found very, very intriguing and interesting during that session as well. We visited the Macau Trade and Promotion Institute, and once again, we were greeted with smiles. They also provided us water during a PowerPoint presentation that, kind of didn't go as planned, but the representative really spoke on the topic. You could tell he was passionate about the MICE program, giving Macau another business segment to work on getting more money into Macau by offering a way for people to have meetings, 50 to 100 people at the least, to actually come into Macau, host their events, and then they think that this will drive more money into the Macau economy because people are staying in the hotels, they're eating the food, they're obviously gambling in the casinos, and they think this is going to drive more profits to them instead of just being a casino-driven environment. Having that opportunity for companies to come into Macau, I thought that was a clever idea, as well, as long as they market it and make it even more attractive to companies, and companies see the business opportunity as far as the perks for coming to Macau to host their businesses. I thought that was a great idea on that front as well. That the difference here in China is they have 4 different ways to order. So they can order at a walk-up window. You can walk to a window and order outside the McDonald's, or you can go into the counter like regular, or you can order on a kiosk, or you can do like a Uber Eats thing where they deliver it to you in these big red boxes that you just saw. So pretty cool. So overall, to complete my journal here, I would like to give a brief overview of some of the takeaways that I also had personally. When I just told people that I was going to go to China, they were so worried about me. They were thinking, oh, you're not going to be able to make it home. They might restrict you. You're not going to be able to communicate with us. But I found it was quite easy to communicate and see the phone companies have really built good relationships with China, to where you have that free text opportunity. There's 20 cents a minute to talk on the phone if I needed to, which I ended up having to, but it actually was much more smoother than I thought it was going to be for that experience. Interacting with the Chinese natives was actually pretty pleasant. I can say in Beijing, China, I didn't receive that reciprocation that that I'm used to. Like if I give somebody a smile, that was in Beijing, they kind of gave me that deadpan face, like they didn't understand what a smile was. But other than that, when I progressed through Shanghai and then Macau and then definitely in Hong Kong, people were really receptive. I used the Google Translate tool a lot, which was really helpful. I even helped some of my cohort members through the Google Translate, and also being able to convert yuan into USD, which also helped a lot of my cohorts in buying all of the amazing gifts that they bought. And they also had some of the Chinese natives in the shops, they had their own translator that they used when they saw me using mine. So it was really a nice interactive way for us to communicate, even though we had that language barrier otherwise.
So of this experience, I realized that, whoa, I would actually go back to China. I was a little apprehensive at first, but I would actually go back to China. And most of all, I would love to go back to Guangzhou to really see more of those landmarks that I missed out on. Also Macau, just to go. I'm not a gambler or anything, but I did like the energy of just going and, like they say, 1 or 2 days. But most of all, Hong Kong. I feel like Hong Kong had so much more to offer. And I did like the fact that Hong Kong was more of a city, because I am a city girl from Washington, D.C. So I really related to those types of people and the melting pot, the diversity that Hong Kong held. It's very modern. It's here and now and futuristic. And I love that. Of the companies, it just motivated me to know that, wow, Chinese companies are on the rise and they are definitely being innovative. They're interactive, proactive, and they're wanting to build business relationships with the U.S. And that also helped me to understand that, hey, the Chinese market is definitely receptive to the U.S. To U.S. business, which was very insightful as well. So I really enjoyed this adventure, this trip. I love traveling as it is, but it also, scratched that itch of wanting to get out of the U.S. and travel. So I appreciate the experience, and yeah, I look forward to my next adventure. Yeah, probably be back to China, hopefully. Hey, who knows? So I'll leave it up in the air with that. So thanks a lot for the adventure.